Hello everybody, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I hope that everyone would have had a really great week so far. So in today's video, I will basically be going over my monthly budget, basically my income, what comes into me this month, my expenses for this month, the building funds that I would use to save with, and also my sinking funds. In terms of my targets and the starting balances and ending balances for those funds. My income for majority of the periods of the year is pretty inconsistent. I work on commissions only, so therefore it is dependent on the commissions made that determines what I will be paid. The only one thing that is constant is my side business, and with that I know I get an average of about $280 from that every month. But outside of that, everything else that comes into me is pretty much different. So with that, I always have to navigate in terms of how I cover expenses, and I am hoping that with my budgeting system that I would be able to basically handle them a lot better. Because what I've found is that I would always have to dip into anything that I put down to save, and I want to start avoiding that. So, without further ado, let's dive right in to my monthly overview. So the first thing on my monthly overview that needs to be filled in would be my income. Unfortunately, I would not have the amount for my salary, my monthly salary from my main job, because I am still awaiting my commission statement for that. But for my side business, I know for sure that I would have pulled in about $280 for that, and that would be my business. I would definitely have to wait on my commission statement in order to fill in for my salary. But when that happens, of course, I will update you guys on how much that is, and then how much I will be stuffing and allocating to my monthly expenses. The majority of my expenses really fall after my income, so that is the reason why I really don't have much of an issue in terms of paying my monthly expenses while waiting on the amount of my salary. I really pretty much try my best to ensure that the commissions that I make is enough to cover that, so that when I do get that amount or I do get that figure, I know that I can fall well within range to cover my expenses. So for my business expense, I would have received that on the 6th of February. And then my salary will come, let's say, between the 15th and the 17th of February. So for that, I'm going to put the 17th just to be on the safe side. And actually, no, let's put the 15th. The 15th is when it's really supposed to come. So for the 15th of February, then I will receive my salary, and then I will be able to calculate the total for income. Moving on to my expenses, I really don't have a long list of expenses. My expenses mainly are my living expenses, which is not here, but it is an envelope that I have that I actually accumulate the funds into. And one of the things that I really wanted to do this year with my living expenses is to save in advance of what I normally have in my expenses on a monthly basis, that when it is time to cover my monthly expenses, that I would have enough funds to do so. So with that, I'm going to list my monthly expenses, and I'm going to be listing them from the earliest date to the latest date, and the amounts, of course. So at the beginning of every month, not the first, at the beginning of every month, I have a card. I would not call it a credit card, but it is a card with funds on it, but it's not taken on credit. It's basically taken on deposit. So I'm going to just put the initial of the company so that I know what that is for. and basically that is due the 8th of every month. I would have essentially covered that out of the money that I would have received from my business, along with some other funds that I would have had left over from my paycheck in January. Like I would have said in my first cash stuffing video, that I would have cleared my debt last month, and with that, basically the only debt that I have now would be this card. So I cleared the majority of my debt last month, which is great. So it allows me to focus more on this card and also basically building on my savings. So with this first expense, I actually normally pay $100, 100 Barbados dollars a month. And then the second expense that I have now will be my, what I would say it would be my internet and phone bill. It's basically bundled together. So with that, I would just put Digicel is our carrier. So that is due on the 10th of every month. I have not paid for that as yet, but we do have a grace period. So I am actually still within that grace period. So once I am paid, then I'll be able to pay that from my salary. And that is $86. Right? I actually started to save towards this one. I would have put in my living expenses in my cash stuffing video, I believe it was $50. And that is actually to put towards this, along with anything else now that I would need to take from my salary. So then the third thing that is needed to be paid would be my rent, and that is due on the 15th of every month. And that is actually 500 Barbados dollars. And so I don't actually cover my full rent. I actually pay a part of it, and this would be the part that I would be responsible for. It's divided into two, and myself and someone else pays that, and I pay that part of the rent overall. The next thing that would be due would be my utility, which is water. This is the utility outside of this that I am responsible for, which is the Digicel bill. I'm also responsible for the water bill, and that normally falls around the same time as the rent time. I normally estimate that to come in around the 15th to the 18th of every month, so I normally bundle it with the rent, and that is the 15th of February, and I normally put 110 to that. Now our water bill carries a garbage and sewage tax, so that basically covers, the 110 covers everything. So the current water amount that we use, along with our garbage and sewage tax. And then the last thing that I have to pay every month would be my life insurance. Let's see if I can get that fit here. Yes. So my life insurance, and that basically is due at the ending of every month. So this month is a short month, so I'm going to put that for the 28th of February. And so my life insurance, I have both medical and life itself, but the company that I'm with, they bundle it basically under their life package. So with that is actually $314 a month. So in total, that amount actually comes to, let's get the calculator. Sorry, I have this big, huge pencil case. There's a lot of stuff in it. So, and then we put everything in that. Let's move that out of frame. So let me make small calculator. So I have 100 plus 86 plus 500 plus 110 10 plus would be 1,500 Barbados dollars. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened there just now, but my equipment basically shut down, so I had to restart. And my starting balance at the 1st of February 2021 is $0. And this is not exactly what I have in savings on my account, but this is what I would have had in my envelope. And we're basically starting from zero, starting from scratch. So I'm definitely going to try my best to work towards that goal because I definitely want to hit that target this year. In terms of my emergency funds, so I want my emergency funds to be more than my savings. Reason being is because sometimes you have unexpected things that happen, and that is what the emergency fund is for. And I do want to give myself enough of a buffer that I do not, if I have to touch my savings, it is a must, and that it would have to be a really great big deal. So with my emergency fund, I'm actually going to put that at 2005. And my starting balance for that is $0. So the home ownership is something that I was looking at for a couple of years, and with that, we have a lot of different options here in Barbados when it comes to home ownership. So one of the things that we have, which is I guess common around the world, is a mortgage, but there are different requirements depending on who you go with. And essentially for home ownership, I definitely want to save enough of an amount that will cover the legal fees, as well as in the event that I need to put down a deposit as well. So for home ownership, I will save about, let's say, 10% of the amount that I would like to take from the financial institution to purchase the property. So I'm going to put that actually at 6,000 Barbados dollars, and it's starting at $0. So everything basically would be starting at $0 because, like I said, I would have used the majority of my funds that I had before to clear the majority of the debts I had, because I would have had loans, outstanding balances on a couple of bills. So I definitely had to clear that before I can definitely focus on the saving aspect, because they were basically choking me financially. So now that I have that out of the way, I am going to hone in on basically saving rampantly, as well as trying to acquire an asset. Whereas I know within myself that the amount that I am paying right now in rent, that I can handle in mortgage, or probably just a little ways above, just to cut down on the amount that I'm actually paying out, that I don't actually put myself in what Bajans will say a deeper hole, or dig myself in a hole. So with that, I am going to put it at 10% of the amount that I'm looking to borrow, which is about 60,000, and go from there. So in total, the target that I have for my building funds is 8, 9, so that is $10,000. Wow. Please forgive that mistake. I hope that is okay for some of you. And my starting balance, of course, is $0. So going on to my sinking funds now. My sinking funds will be envelopes that I will use basically from time to time throughout the year, or maybe necessary for things that I know will come at some point in time. So you can see the list of sinking funds that I have here, which, sorry about that noise, I think that's my neighbor upstairs because I live in an apartment. So my sinking funds basically is car maintenance, gas, household, beauty, personal, vacation, Christmas, business, miscellaneous, health and wellness, my mother, as well as winding down. Now, for some of these sinking funds, I will not have a target because these will be sinking funds that I know I will be using every month. So with that, I do not have a target in terms of saving for that because I know that I will be taking out from that envelope pretty much regularly. So for the ones that I will be focusing on in terms of setting the target for will be car maintenance, will be vacation, Christmas, health and wellness, my mother, and I will also set a target for business as well. So when it comes to gas, household, beauty, personal, miscellaneous, and winding down, those will be ones that I know I'm going to use, if not every week, every month. So I will not set a target for that. If you hear any noise in the background, guys, please just forgive me because I have neighbors. I don't live with myself. So, of course, they will need to socialize and stuff like that. And they're doing things in their own home as well. So, forgive me. Right? So, for car maintenance, I have a target of $1,000 set. And basically, this is to ensure that every time that the car needs an oil change, I have money there. And as I use anytime throughout the year, I will always replenish that to get that back to the $1,000. That if any mechanical things happen, I can always get a part for the car. Like I said, get it serviced. Any upgrades that needs to be done, I can always use that $1,000 for. Gas will have no target. Household will have no target because household is what I will be using for groceries or anything that needs to be purchased for the home. So that is the reason why I will not set a target for that. Beauty will have no target. Right now we are on national pause, but once that is finished, of course, a girl would need to get her hair done. I may need to put on nails from time to time, depending on if I have an occasion, or just personal self-care in terms of skincare, stuff like that. A girl will need. So I definitely will not be setting a target for that because I will be using that on a monthly basis. All right, so for personal, the same thing as well. In case I need any clothing or anything in particular for myself, I would be able to utilize that personal envelope for. Vacation. So normally I take my vacation at the ending of the year. And I am going to be paid a vacation salary based off of the commissions that I earn throughout the year. But of course, it is always good that when you have vacation to have a little extra funds. That if you want to have a little extra fun, that you have the money to do so. So if that, I will be setting a target for that at about $1,500. And please note, like I said, the starting balances for all of these envelopes are $0 because I started February off from scratch. I would have cleared all my debt, like I said before. So all of these are going to be $0. But I will still update the ending balances as the month comes to an end. So Christmas has also a target as well. Who doesn't like to spend money for Christmas? I sure do. So I will be saving money towards Christmas. So my Christmas figure that I have is actually going to be $1,300. Miscellaneous. Business. I almost skipped business. I will set a target for business because although my business is registered in Barbados, I want to be able to always have funds for that in the event that I want to invest more things into it. There's anything that I need to do for it, that I can have that extra funds set aside for that. That whatever income is made from that, regardless of if it is the same amount that I have here or more, that I will be able basically to put down the amounts for business. So any extra that comes in from that business, I actually want to save that and set that aside So for that, I'm gonna put that at let's say 2,000. Starting balance is $0.00. Miscellaneous will not have. Sorry about that, guys. So you would notice that I would have written in some more stuff. I did not realize that my device had stopped recording. So just a quick overview as to what I did. Miscellaneous does not have a target. Due to the fact, like I said, I will be using that on a monthly basis as a buffer if I go over in a particular sinking fund, that I have that as a buffer to basically counteract that from me using an emergency fund or savings amount. So that also has a starting balance of 0. And then for health and wellness, I was just basically saying that I do have health insurance, as I would have told you when I was filling in my life insurance, that I have health insurance and that has a deductible, so that would come out of my pocket. However, everything else essentially then would be reimbursed to me. So I wanted to save that, as well as anything else that minor that would pertain to my health and my wellness, regardless of if it is fitness, like vitamins, supplements, gym wear, anything like that, that I can fit that into health and wellness. So that target would have been $1,000, and that has a starting balance of $0.00. So the last two sinking funds that I have would be for my mother, and I have a target set for her at 800, and that would be because in the event that I need to buy a gift for her, or maybe I just want to treat her to something nice, that I would have that money there basically to do that with. That would be something that I will not be touching every month, but it would basically allow me to have that I would not have to pull that from my paycheck. Not saying that I wouldn't, but I want to have that as a buffer, that I can ensure that there's enough to give her a gift, or if there's any little thing that I need to get for her, I always will have that there. And then winding down will not have a target, because this is the sinking fund that I use for when I'm going out with friends, going out, period, just to enjoy myself a bit, or even if I'm just unwinding from work, that would be the envelope that I will be using for that purpose. So with that, the targets that I have set for my sinking funds is, let's get the calculator, and that is 1,000 plus 1,500 plus 1,300 plus 2,000 plus 1,000 plus 800, and that is 7,600 Barbados dollars. 7,600 Barbados dollars, and my starting balance, of course, is 0. So I'm not sure if I would have captured this earlier, but like I said, I do not mind if my starting balances are $0.00, because if it means that later on they will be plentiful and bountiful in the name of Jesus, that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make at this point. Like I said, at the end of this month, I will definitely update this and put as my ending balance, and I will be doing that every month, just to keep track of my progress on a monthly basis. Once I am paid from my salary, I will basically fill in this amount, and then from that I would know, I will be able to cover the expenses, but I will know basically from that then what I would be able to take from my total income and actually inject into my funds. So that will be it for today's video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video of my monthly overview for the month of February. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment down below. And if you did like this video, please do not forget to like it down below. And if you want to come along with me on this journey, basically to see how I navigate to get myself to where I want to be in my savings and in life on a whole, you can always click that subscribe button that you can follow me as I post videos to you guys. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can interact with me and stay up to date with my progress. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great, productive week. Bye.